Hello, I'm Archie Luxury and welcome to the program. Today we're doing another exciting watch book review, and this time we're looking at the fabulous book Cartier the Tank Watch. And this is an all-time classic book. And let's have a look at this. This is a great book, which is it goes through a bit more than just the history of the tank. It goes through many Cartier developments. But you know, the most iconic Cartier watch would have to be the tank, and it's quite a hefty book. It's got a very interesting outline of the first Cartier tank, and it also goes through some history of Cartier itself there, and it's quite an extensive book. It's a book that's it came out in the late 90s, but it's quite an extensive Cartier Bible, and I really do think it's a great book to have there. It's got a lot of good information, and it tells you how the pocket watch turned into the famous wristwatch from Cartier. And it's a really great book. It's got a lot of lovely design type sketches in it, and it's something that a collector who's a wristwatch person as well as a Cartier person would really enjoy. And I've found this book to be really it's a little bit, in places it's a bit dry, but it does have things that it does redeem itself there. And some of this, look at this beautiful picture of the Cartier boutique in the the early 20s, or even a smidgen before the early 20s, and it's just beautiful to see these gorgeous photos of some of the Cartier boutiques. And it also discusses how Cartier, there was the three Cartier, the Cartier Paris, New York, and London. And I find this book here really good Bible to have there. And I'm a Cartier nut, and my respect for Cartier is bedrock. And I've got to say, this sort of book here is something that you do need if you're a Cartier lover. And the Cartier itself is a brand which has so much history involved in the wristwatch, and it's the whole design operandi is based on their Cartier tank watch. So it's a really great book there. It also looks at some of the fantastic patrons of Cartier who have enjoyed the brand, and I've got to say, for that alone, it's a wonderful book to have there. And I've got to say, it's very interesting to see all the various forms of Cartier tank and how they have evolved there. And that's something that is certainly worth a great mention there. Cartier itself is one of the fabulous iconic brands, and the tank is probably the most iconic model of all time. And it's amazing, some of these variations you would have never seen before, and to see them in real life is just fantastic. And Cartier had a lot of Asian influence, a lot of Art Deco type influence, and it's fantastic to see this in print form. So it's a really good, really good Bible. Rudolph Valentino, here he is wearing his Cartier tank, and what could be finer? What could be finer? And it's not just celebrities who were huge Cartier fans. No. One of my favourite models, the Basculant, which I've actually owned one of, it's featured here. It's a Cartier tank variation. It's beautiful. Even these little Cartier delivery trucks, which are just so sweet. And it's also interesting to see how the cases evolved and different models that were out. And Cartier itself is just such a fabulous brand, and a lot of beautiful artwork in this book, as well as some very early advertisements. This is a 1931 Cartier advertisement. It's just superb. And it doesn't disappoint too if you're a Cartier jewelry collector. It's got some wonderful, wonderful pictures in this book, and it goes on to some very famous Cartier customers, the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, for example. And this is a really fabulous book here. Marlene Dietrich, Hollywood celebrity, huge Cartier lovers, and for that alone, this book is really quite fantastic. And it's just beautiful to see people in the day. Jackie Kennedy Onassis, huge Cartier fan, and very iconic with the Cartier tank. And it's models like that which are really, it's pictures like that, it's the iconic pictures. It even goes through the Cartier leadership, and you've even got a very young, who have we got there? That's Warren Beatty. Warren Beatty. And look, it's a great book. It's more encompassing than just the Cartier. Here's the expensive gold lines of watch from Cartier, and it's just a wonderful mix here. Liz Taylor, Andy Warhol, huge Cartier fan, and it looks at the introduction of Musty Cartier, and we've got an Yves Saint Laurent, huge Cartier lover and fan there. So the book itself is really well done, taking you from the early 20s up until modern times, and fabulous photography, fabulous photos, and if you're a Cartier lover, it's a book you must have. But it does so much more than just talk about the tank. It's got iconic models like the Santos, the Panther, the Diablo, the Pasha, the Banois. It goes into many more watches than just the tank, and it's very well done there. I've got to say, it's a book which, if you're a Cartier nut, you need to have. And I think this book here is a very good addition. One thing I really do love is the catalogue of watches, and it shows you how the model evolved. So it goes through the different variations and when they came out. It also shows you many features on the Cartier tank which you may not have. So if you're a collector, you're an auction nut, this is a great book to have there. And I've got to say, this is probably one of the leading Cartier books, and it's well worth the money. It's quite an expensive book, but just for this information here, it's well worth it. And I think this book here, it also goes into the modern variations, that Cartier Francais, and it's a great book. It's a great book. This book here itself, the only negative is it's a bit dry in places, but I think if you're a Cartier lover like I am, it's a must-have for your collection. I'm Archie Luxury, and this has been a review of the Cartier Tank book. What would I give it out of 10? I'd give it a 7. I think this book is a quality book. Although it's a bit dry in places, it's still a very good read, and I'm giving it a 7. I'm Archie Luxury. Tell me what you think.